Gym to Crag. Presented by the American Alpine Club and Adidas Terex.
When you come from the indoor climbing gym to the outdoor crag for the first time, you are joining a team of outdoor climbers who are all striving together to minimize our impact on this place, to minimize the degradation, to sustain this resource for all future generations of climbers. In this video, we're going to focus on 7 key skill sets that help you join that team. We're going to teach you, first of all, to do your homework, to get online, to learn all the rules and regulations that govern the climbing venue of your choice. We're going to teach you to stay on established trails. We're going to teach you to pack out human waste appropriately. We're also going to teach you to pack out all other waste, and we're talking about litter here, appropriately. We're going to teach you to respect flora and fauna, respect plants and animals. We're going to teach you to leave what you find, leaving all souvenirs at the crag for everyone to enjoy. And we're going to teach you to join and serve climbing organizations that give back to this resource. So every climbing venue in the country, whether it's public or private, has a set of rules that will tell you how you're supposed to behave when you're there. And it's worth your time to take 5 to 10 minutes to learn those rules before you go. We call it doing your homework. So sometimes you do that on the website, you do a search for the climbing venue, find out who owns it, who manages it, who runs it, and find out what the rules are. At the very least, when you get to the venue, there's almost always a posted placard, a set of rules that tells you where to park, rules about the bathroom, rules about the trails, rules about the climbing. Do your homework. If you show up at the crag and you don't know the rules, it's hard to follow the rules. So a key idea here we really want to emphasize is stay on the trails, stay on established trails. And the choice comes up to the traveler like this. Oh, it seems so tempting for me to take this little shortcut and cut the switchback. But don't do that. Resist the opportunity to cut the switchback. Stay on the trail. And we do that to help avoid erosion and just keep all the traffic on the same path. Going to the bathroom in an outdoor crag is not quite as convenient as a climbing gym when we have easy access to public toilets. For urination, some of us will want to just step off the trail to somewhere private and do our business. If we're using toilet paper for urination, that will need to be packed out and taken home with us. For bowel movements, we want to really think ahead. What kind of resources do I have? Are there public toilets near the crag that I can use before I go climbing? A decade ago, we tried to tell climbers about digging small holes for bowel movements. They were called cat holes. And unfortunately, that era is over. Now there's too many of us, too many cat holes have been dug, and it's just not an option anymore. The human waste disposal system is the new way to go. And if it's an emergency, I probably want some extra toilet paper and some hand sanitizer as well. We also want to remove all waste from the crag. Most climbers aren't littering intentionally. Most climbers aren't taking this trash and throwing it into the woods or leaving it at the crag. Most climbers are accidentally leaving this trash. This small piece of trash is easy to forget. We want to find these little pieces of trash and make sure they leave the crag with us. Also, small bits of food waste might seem innocuous. It might seem like that's not a very big deal. But this is also a form of waste that we want to take home with us. Food waste especially can disrupt the natural ecosystem, providing an alternative food source for animals, and we don't want to do that. We want to take that trash with us. So a key idea we want to follow here is to respect plants and animals. And there's different strategies for both. For plants, we have a few ideas about staying on established trails. That's really about respecting plants. We don't want to trample plants or wildflowers. The established trails focus all of our traffic to areas that won't damage plants. Our outdoor crags and climbing venues are filled with wildlife, and our job is to be respectful of that wildlife. We do that by managing our food waste. Our food waste can disrupt the natural ecosystem, and similarly, directly feeding animals does the same thing. Lastly, we certainly don't want to harm any of these animals. This is their home, and they have a right to live here happily and peacefully. So it's really understandable and really common that after an achievement, after a red point, something you're really proud of, you might be tempted to take a souvenir, just a small memento of your accomplishment. We want to avoid that temptation. If everyone does this, then we will permanently change the landscape. We want to avoid this. Leave what you find. In an outdoor setting, permanently defacing the rock face in any way with paint, graffiti, taking one rock and scratching the surface, that's completely inappropriate. We want to avoid that altogether. One of the messages we're delivering to everybody in the United States, especially climbers, is to join a local climbing organization. So what's going on here in Muir Valley? Tell folks about who you are and what the LCO is here in Muir Valley.
Yeah, so my name's Eric Klucker. I'm the property manager here at Muir Valley, and our local climbing organization for this area is called the Friends of Muir Valley. So we have lots of things going on here. We do trash pickups here, trail days. You can always donate to Friends of Muir Valley to help support the area.
Nice. And donations, what does that money do? What does that money go to?
Well, people don't realize it, but there's a lot of infrastructure and maintenance costs that goes along with climbing areas like this. So just maintaining the roads that come in here and the parking lots for the area, as well as the trails and the climbing routes.
All right, so what I hear you saying is if I'm going to come here and climb, then supporting the LCO is my way to give back.
Absolutely.
Okay, cool. Nice. And then now let's say I live far away from here and I just want to join something at a national level. Like what's on the table there? What could I do?
Yeah, so there's the American Alpine Club, there's the American Safe Climbing Association, tons of organizations out here, the Access Fund, are all great organizations to help support that.
Cool. But either way, whether I'm local, whether this is the only place I go, or whether I live really remotely, sounds like joining and serving is the right way.
Absolutely, it's the best thing to do.
Nice.
The outdoors is a place for all of us to enjoy. Unfortunately, disrespecting these areas cause land managers to block access. Follow the local rules, respect plants and animals, join and serve, and help preserve these areas for generations to come.